Don't you hate how much grief requires from you? Uh, I went to the blood center this morning, donate some blood, which I encourage everybody to do, but it helps other people. But so much is required from us on grief, right? When we're grieving, we have to always give. We have to be patient with the people around us. We have to be patient with ourselves. It seems like everything is just taking from us, and we really don't know how to handle that because we don't have enough to give, and maybe if you lost a child, maybe the other children in your family need your support, and you feel like you just have nothing to give because you're trying to support yourself. Or, I used to go to work, and I used to have to give to my work while I was grieving, and that got harder and harder and harder until eventually I had to leave work for a series of months to try to get myself healthy again. So grief takes a lot. It takes a lot to get through. It takes a lot of thinking. It takes a lot of mental energy, and I'm sure you're experiencing that as you sit within yourself in depression, in anxiety, in all the emotions that are swirling about, that are all on the big wheel of emotions. They all happen sometimes all at once, or sometimes they happen serially, but seems like we're always giving. So my encouragement to you is, what I found is that if I would give a little outside of myself and not stay trapped within my own mind, that I found I didn't feel that this journey was as taxing. Like if I got out and I worked for somebody doing some yard work, or I did volunteered for something, there's a lot that comes from that is healing, even though it seems like somebody again is taking. But if you do it with the right mindset, you can feel like you're giving, and it gives you purpose outside of all this misery that you experience in grief. And I really encourage you to think about this, because it seems counterintuitive. It seems like, oh, I'm already wore out, so how can I give more of myself when I don't have anything to give? But I find out that people, through my clients, I find that they doubt themselves, and in whatever way they reach deeper within themselves, exploring themselves through counseling and exploring the world around them in different ways that they hadn't before, because you get a new perspective when we're grieving, that they find that they get back. They get back. And, it's an example of, yesterday I went to a nursing home. I visited a friend of mine, and I didn't have a lot of time in my day to go visit him, but I made the time. And I found that when I left there, I left with blessing. I left with insight. I left with gratitude that I wasn't in the position he was in. And, we can hear we know our own story. And it seems that when we get out into the world, we hear other people's stories, and we don't feel as lost as we might within ourselves. We get an understanding that there's other people who have survived things and gone through things. Like I went through living hell after I lost my first son in 2011. And, I have a great relationship with my other son, thanks God. But my wife and I, we struggled. We always had to give to each other. But in the end, our family survived, and our family is stronger than it ever was. So in my saying all this, I suggest that you kind of think about ways that you can get outside of yourself when it's so hard to stay within yourself and within your own mind. I mean, I was trapped in loops and loops and loops in my mind, just spinning. And once I started to get out into the world a little bit more, rather than coming home and laying in my son's bed, where I thought if I laid there long enough, I could somehow will him back, which I know didn't make any logical sense, but emotionally, it was really, really, really something that I felt by laying there could happen. And it wasn't logical, didn't make any sense, but I longed to have him back so bad that I would do that, right? And that caused me to be absent from the rest of the family members, absent from myself, and just stay stuck and stuck and stuck and stuck. So I don't want you to go through that, and that's why I offer these tips. You might find things that work better for you, and I hope you do. But I encourage you to try to give while you're giving to yourself. In the meantime, this is Harold encouraging you to first survive, then strive, and eventually maybe even thrive.